Whether you realize it or not, this is the number one reason as to why you aren't able to scale your AI agency. And in this video, we're going to be diagnosing and identifying what this issue is and how to solve it. Okay, so you want to stick to the end. And so first things first, there's a big problem. And if you're somebody who's running an AI service business and you find it tough to acquire clients and scale, it's probably due to a huge underlying issue that has grown uncontrollably, especially over the last 6 months. And in this video, like I said, we're going to be diagnosing what this issue is and concisely outlining the strategies that you need to implement in order to offset it. So what is this issue that I'm referring to? Well, to simply put it, there's two main factors. First is your prospect's lack of trust, and the second one is their lack of information. And to give you a high-level overview of what I mean, there's something called the larger market formula. Basically, what the larger market formula says is that within any given market or any given niche, only 3% of the market is ready to buy right now. The rest of the 97% of the market needs more information. Okay, and obviously the closer you are to the bottom of this pyramid, the more information you need in order to get to the top of the pyramid and convert. Okay, it says that 17% of the market is in information gathering mode, 20% is problem aware mode, and 60% is not problem aware at all. Okay, and like I said, only 3% of the market is ready to buy right now. Everyone else needs more information and convincing to buy down the line. So what are some signs that you're having this problem? Well, there's two main symptoms. The first symptom is that you aren't able to convince prospects to hop on a call with you. Okay, so your prospects are so cold, they're lacking so much information and trust that they don't even want to hop on a call with you. Okay, that's the first symptom. The second symptom is that prospects are hopping on calls with you, but you aren't able to convince them to buy. Okay, and this problem is worse. This is the first layer of the problem, and once you've solved this problem, then you're gonna encounter this problem, and you need to solve this problem. Okay, but in the end, they need more information, and we're going to talk about that. And so do not underestimate the importance of information, specifically the importance of the fact that your prospects are informed about you and your opportunity. So let's zoom out and look at the big picture and also talk about a few concepts that's going to help relate to the solution of how we solve this issue. The first thing I want to talk about is the concept of information wars. Information warfare is a strategic use of information as a weapon to manipulate, disrupt, or gain advantage over adversaries, often involving propaganda, disinformation, and cyber operations to influence decisions and outcomes. Okay, and the main question here is, why do countries have information wars? And we're going to circle back and answer all these questions. The second concept is the company Meta. Meta Platforms, or formerly known as Facebook, is a technology company that develops and operates social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, while advancing virtual and augmented reality through its Reality Labs division to build a metaverse. As of October 3rd, its market cap is about $1.79 trillion, one of the biggest companies in the world. Okay, the main question here is, why is Meta one of the most, if not the most important company in the world? And the last concept I want to touch on is social media algorithms in general. A social media algorithm is a set of rules and AI-driven formulas that analyze user data, likes, views, follows to personalize and rank content in feeds, prioritizing engaging, relevant posts to maximize time spent on the platform. It creates echo chambers and amplifies viral or sensational content. And the question here is, why are social media algorithms the most powerful tools on the planet? Okay, and now to answer each question, the first one for this one is, this is the mechanism that decides what people see and think. Okay, this literally controls what people see and think. It's the mechanism that dictates it. Okay, the question here as to why is Meta one of the most important companies in the world? It controls the mechanism. It controls the algorithms that decides what the world sees and thinks. So these are the people who have the power, mostly have the power as to controlling this mechanism that decides what people see and what people think. Okay, and then finally, why do countries have information wars? Well, the goal is to control people and influence what people see and think. Okay, and so how do all three of these concepts relate to each other? Well, the flow of information dictates what people think, and what people think dictates everything. Okay, so information, do not underestimate the concept of information and painting a picture in your prospect's mind. And so if people don't know anything about you, or they don't know what to think about you, or worst of all, they don't think about you at all, then you need to engage in an information war, okay, to put it simply. The same way that countries systematically feed people propaganda in order to win over the masses, you must do the same with your business, okay? And when I say propaganda, I don't mean, some crazy, lying about crazy stuff. I mean promoting your product and your business in a way where people think positively about you, the same way that countries would do with people so that people think positively about that country. Okay, but obviously, don't say crazy stuff. And if you don't do this, your business will slowly fizzle out into obscurity. And so how do you do this? Well, you've probably heard the concept of a marketing funnel, a sales funnel. Okay, I want you to replace this word with systemized content consumption. That's all a marketing funnel or a sales funnel is. It's simply a mechanism to systemize the content consumption, to force content consumption for your prospects. A funnel is a systemized way of forcing content consumption. Think of your prospects as a blank canvas. You're trying to paint the right picture on that canvas, a beautiful, high quality, premium picture, not a garbage, cheap commodity picture. Okay, because if you paint a beautiful, high quality, premium picture in your prospect's mind, then you can charge a premium price for that. Opposed to painting some garbage in their mind, a cheap picture, then you can charge cheap prices for it. Okay, and so make sure that your funnel reflects your price point. If your price point is 10K plus, then you will need to spend a lot of time painting a picture in your prospect's mind, with content, with feeding them information and building trust. Then you're gonna need to spend more time, opposed to if your price point is $200 or anything under $1,000, then you won't have to spend nearly as much time. Okay, and so now that we've identified the number one problem as to what's holding you back from scaling, how do you actually go about implementing this? Okay, well, the first step that you need to do is to make content your top of funnel. Okay, what I mean by that? Well, when I mean top of funnel, I mean the main mechanism, as to how people are finding out about you is through content. Okay, also you can throw in ads in there. Ad scales a lot quicker. Ads is the best short-term strategy, but when it comes to long-term strategy, content is the most sustainable and the most predictable way to build trust and acquire clients. Okay, so when it comes to long-term sustainability, content is by far the best strategy, and focus on providing value, solving narrow problems to a specific market. Okay, then, I have videos where I go deeper into how to create content, especially in the community. First link in the description. You can join the AI Scaling Specialist community completely for free. We have tons of resources and assets as to, creating content, scaling, building your offers, etc. And if you want direct access to me, I'm always active in there. We're about to hit 1,000 members, so, I'd say join. And so be mindful of who you're creating content for. Different warmth levels require different messaging. And I'm about to portray what I mean by this. So the goal is to always convert your prospects. Okay, it's the point of conversion, which we've placed here at the top. Under that, we have the 3% of the market that's in buy now mode, the 17% that's in information gathering mode, 20% that's in problem aware mode, the 60% that's not problem aware at all. And so, for each segment of the larger market formula, from the coldest segment to the hottest segment, you need to have different types of content that introduces them to your opportunity, to who you are, that teaches them about your opportunity and what you're selling. Okay, and so, this is basically a hierarchy of how warm the lead is, from the coldest to cold to warm to hot. And different types of content that you need to implement in order to nurture them over a period of time. Okay, so if for the bottom 60% of people that are not problem aware at all, then you need to have content that teaches them about your opportunity, that introduces them to your opportunity and why it's the best path for them to take to achieve whatever outcome they're looking to achieve. Okay, above that, the 20% of the market that's problem aware, you need to solve their problems and provide value with content. Okay, and so you reverse engineer this from your offer. So whatever problems you're solving in your offer, you want to reverse engineer content ideas from that. Okay, so for the 20% of people that are problem aware, the reason why they're problem aware is because they know they have a problem, but they just don't know how to solve it. And so you want to solve those problems for free in your content, solve it fully for your content, like Hormozi, or solve it fully in your content. And like Hormozi says, give away all the information for free and charge for the implementation. Okay, most people, even if you're going step by step as to, whatever problems they're facing, if you're solving it for them for free in your content, the probability, the chance of them actually implementing it is really low. And that's where you can, where they can join your program or whatever service you're offering. Okay, so 20% solve their problems and provide value. Now, as for the 17% that's in information gathering mode, you want to do the same thing. Solve their problems and provide value. Okay, so for these people that are in the middle, they're aware of their problem, they just don't know how to solve it. This is going to make up a decent amount of the people as to who you're targeting. So you want to solve their problems, like I said, and provide value. List out all the problems they're having and ideate content ideas from there. Now, for the 3% of the market that's in buy now mode, that know what problems they face and they're looking to solve it and they want someone else to solve it for them, these are people who are extremely hot. Okay, these people are ready to buy, they just don't know who to buy from. And so what do you need to do? You need to have some sort of VSL and call to action as to why they should choose you and not other people. And so this necessarily might not come in the form of a YouTube video or some sort of top of funnel content. It might come in the form of a VSL on a landing page, an ad, something before a call that they watch. You need to have it where you're going through your solution, the mechanisms that you're going to implement, the roadmap, testimonials, and why they should choose you over other people. This is more of a direct piece of content because they already know that they need to solve this problem and they're looking for someone to solve it. They just don't know who. And this is where you come in and you show them why they should choose you opposed to someone else. Okay, and so you want to have a VSL and a call to action as to what are the next steps to take in order to take you up on this opportunity, which in most cases should be for them to book a call with you. Okay, and so that's basically the hierarchy of different types of content and messaging required for different lead temperatures and lead warms. Okay, so like I said, a funnel is a systemized content consumption mechanism, and different stages of the funnel, you're gonna have different types of content and different ways you package the content and deliver it to your prospect. So top of funnel, most likely it's gonna be either some sort of YouTube video or short-form content. I typically recommend YouTube videos because this is a platform where people are coming to learn, and you get to spend most time with your audience and build a strong foundation to your personal brand. The type of content you want to be posting on top of funnel, we outlined for the most part here. You want to be solving their problems and provide value and also introducing them to your opportunity. Okay. And the second stage is in your pipeline. Whether your pipeline, this is sort of the middle of funnel part of it. Whether you have a community funnel, this is where people are in the community. Whether you're putting them into an email ecosystem, some sort of SMS ecosystem, whatever the case may be, you still need to be feeding them content and nurturing them. Your goal here is to feed them content that's going to convince them to hop on a call with you. Okay, and then the next part is before booking a call. So this is where you're in the DMs and you're talking to this person, trying to get them to book a call. Now, typically, what you want to do is you want to ask them what is the main problem they're facing when it comes to achieving X outcome. Now, whatever problem they say they're facing, you want to send over either a video or some sort of lead magnet or asset or playbook as to how to solve that problem. Okay, so you're providing value before the call. You want to send that over and you want to pitch them on the call. Now, after they've booked the call, it should take them to some sort of page, or you should send over some sort of video where they watch a VSL, a pre-call VSL or pre-call homework, or however you position it. So that way they're consuming more content and more hours of content, more information before they hop on the call with you. So that way you're not hopping on a call with people who have no idea who you are, what you sell, who you've helped. Another way you format this video is you want to list out what are the main objections people have on calls with you, and you want to solve all those objections in that pre-call VSL that you send over to this person. Okay, so that's a very high level way of how to structure this systemized content consumption mechanism, because once again, lack of information, lack of trust, especially in 2025, is the number one reason as to why people are unable to scale. Nobody trusts anyone anymore. There's so many marketers making crazy guarantees that you need to provide as much value and create content. It's never been this important. Okay, so if you got value from this video, first link in the description is a free AI scaling specialist school community. I'm in there. We have hundreds of people in there. If you want more assets, more information as to how to scale, join it, and I'll see you on the inside. Bye.